YouTube, what it do is your boy Benji. We back with the crew. If you're new, please don't forget to subscribe. We have Brittany Renner, Michael Porter, and Denise Garcia talking about religion. Who would have thought? At the end of the day, Brittany Renner and Denise are two NBA baby mamas, and we got Michael Porter Jr., who's in the NBA. Who would have thought this conversation would have came to fruition? I don't think anybody would have. But here's what we got. Talking about religion here.
I think you can implement all things. Just because I'm not in hijab, I'm still Muslim in my heart. Just as much as I love astrology, just as much as I love numerology, just as much as probably back in 1876 I was considered a witch and burned at the stake. I'm all of those things. I don't have to discount one part, of myself, because this is who I am.
I feel that for a lot of Christians I've experienced, and I see that if you're a Christian and you're not practicing it perfectly in their eyes, it's the people that are supposed to lift you up and pray for you that end up tearing you down. So
Yeah.
in your experience, if you aren't practicing perfectly how they want to, like you said, you receive comments. Have you experienced that it's from those same people that should be like lifting you up that are tearing you down the most?
Yes.
I feel like that's a big problem in Christianity that leads people away from even wanting to mess with it.
And that's the problem, is that you have a bunch of people that lift themselves to the top of the totem pole without truly understanding what they're getting themselves into. And I think that plenty of people, especially with the advent of social media, are getting information incorrect. And then you got a bunch of people that are performative and trying to look for the opportunity to, push their own agendas through the scripture. And that's why I think you should be really resilient and be strong and steadfast about where you're getting this information from and who you're looking to and leaning toward for guidance. At the end of the day, with all religion, I think that you should pay attention to the holy book of scripture, or at the very least, who is at the pinnacle of this, where you're getting your talking points from. But if you're looking at a religion and you're leaning towards or leaning away from it because of the people that are in it, I understand there's a purpose of community. But if you're looking at the people solely and making a judgment about the religion from the people, that's a problem in itself.
Christian people that are the most judgmental, the most hypocritical, the most pointing the finger, and it draws people away. Even though that's not God doing that, that's flawed people doing that. But
Yeah.
have you experienced the same thing?
Well, of course. I feel like some of the nastiest comments were from people who I go to their page and you're Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
I think you would have to really sit back and wonder, if this religion is so effective and there's only one way to I guess, be right in the eyes of God, then all of these people who are practicing, how and why are they missing the mark? Is there something in the curriculum? Is it just a lack of comprehension? Like, where are we not aligning here? Because if it's such a beautiful religion, well, then shouldn't it breed beautiful people of beautiful understanding?
Right.
So then now it's like, okay, well, it's clear to me that irony is truly spectacular. And I don't need a religion to be a good person. I don't need any religion to smile at somebody on the street. I don't need a religion to do good and be good.
I think that she's expressing a lot of sentiments that plenty of people feel, but this is exactly why I think this conversation is just funny in itself, bro. These are two women who have had experiences with baby fathers, and one has been a little more public about her life and her personal life, and one is not. At the end of the day, I think they both maybe met on Basketball Wives. I'm not quite sure, but this is what you're getting yourself into. Just saying. Somebody who had a drop of a penny was willing to convert to a religion and go all in, 100% in, for millions of followers, and then just denounce that religion. And again, she's not the only one that's done this. There's been plenty of women and males that have done this as well. I think that's why you should just kind of, in some sense, I get it, it's a journey that you're going through individually, but you shouldn't paint yourself as like an authoritative figure in that space.
I understand there is a creator. That'd be foolish to think we're just running amok here, just unsupervised, but I think it makes me wonder. I question all religions. If the people in it are the most judgmental, something isn't right in the water.
I think that too. That's what I think a lot about Christianity a lot as well. Like if you are hearing from God, if you have the Holy Spirit, then why is it not being shown in the way you live your life sometimes?
They're having slightly two different conversations. If somebody's judging you on your walk, just because you don't feel nice about the things that people are saying about your walk and whatnot, I mean, that shouldn't deter you from the religion. And that's about having faith and being strong in the things that you believe in. And I think that's something that you could carry out to plenty of things in life. If you believe that you need to go work out in order to be in shape and you want to live by this diet or regimen, then just because somebody says, hey, well, you're not eating right, then should that deter you from working out? I'm just going to throw it all out.
The way you relate to people. I think about that all the time.
And I also feel from even going to the mosques and I have seen and experienced myself an imam who's like kind of like a preacher who tried to have sex with me. So it's like the people who are in these positions who should be the most devout leaders in that community, quite contradicting. Here I am months into my journey telling you no, but you are leading the mosque.
That's the toughest thing for me.
So
is the people that are supposed to be in the word the most, be praying the most, be the closest to God, that fall short in
Are you called to worship God, or are you called to worship these people? Are these people going through their own individual struggles, or are they God?
Or wilding out on the side, and then they get exposed for. There's been theologians who have been exposed, and I always question, like, how, if you're the most,
because people are always going to be people. People are always going to have their own agenda. And again, like, we continue to have discussions about people and humanity as if we're really anything much different than like animals. I get it, we're a little more evolved, but at the end of the day, everybody's going to have their own agendas. The same reason you could have yourself a mountain lion, bro. Put it in your house. And you could do all this work that you can to domesticate it. But at the end of the day, it's going to have its own desire. Because the moment it doesn't get its food on time, it might start looking at you and start licking its lips.
You know, educated on the Bible, you're speaking to God the most, you're leading the Christian community. How are you, like, it? That is something that is tough for me as well.
I agree, though.
Once you add to that, is that even in that experience, my empathy for him deepens, because I think sometimes people wear religion, and I can even speak from my experience too. I think it is something that when I joined Islam, I felt like it was purifying me. I felt better and more. It is like sometimes people cloak themselves with religion to have the appearance of being good, because when I'm in full hijab or if I'm in a niqab, people automatically assume. They don't know what's under here. They don't know what's going on. They're assuming I'm good. So I'm benefiting from what religion brings, like that stereotype. But with even the imam, it's so extreme that there's no room for humanity. Like, there's no room for him to be a human. Like, if I was in a different place, I would have easily, like, had sex with him. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? Duh. I would have fucked you in the next week. But it just where I was at. It just wasn't where it was at that time. I'm purifying, you know. But I think that's what actually made me feel for him, because, you know, he hadn't experienced life. He was married for a long time, had 7, 8 kids, and was with one woman. And then here you are, like, you're divorced now. How do you date? So my empathy deepened for him, because I'm like, you want to try the buffet of life, and you just are like,
but that's an
you
amazing,
know?
I feel like that's an amazing place to get to, when people either wrong you or they're just bad people in life. Instead of judging, having empathy, like, that shows.
She didn't say he wronged him. She just felt she was that deterred her from the religion, because she felt like that was non-congruent with what the religion was asking for. She literally just told you, hey, maybe I was in a different place in life, and you might have got it.
Where you're at in your life, and that's really remarkable to me. What about you? Where are you at in your walk with everything?
I mean, I was baptized, so I was raised like Catholic. Like, my parents and family did. We went to Catholic church, but as I gotten older, I found myself on the Christian side of things. Like, I'm a Christian. But to piggyback off what you said too, it's like, I know in my heart, and I feel like where I'm at, I don't go to church like every week, or I'm not doing the things that we're technically supposed to be doing. Like, we all sin differently, I feel like, but like in my heart, like, I believe in God. I try not to judge. Like, it's like my guideline that keeps me center to myself. Like, and
this is what I'm talking about, bro. We literally just watched a video where a dude talked about the absence of women in the church, and this is what these guys are being like. This is what you have to deal with. And I think that vice versa, the same thing. You could be a woman and be looking for a quote unquote God fearing man. This guy could be all over the place where his walk is, and you just don't know. And I think it's rough. I mean, that's why I think like a lot of people aren't even cemented in their foundational outlook on life. Now, I can understand why it'd be tough to try and understand how you two are going to match in a relationship, because foundationally you don't even know where you stand.
I want a man who also believes in God and can, when he's messing up or something's going on, he looks at himself and is like, how am I going to make, what would God tell me to do right now?
Yeah.
Like, I want that to like reel him in.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, not like you have to go to church we have to do all these things, but it's like, it has to center your life.
Yeah,
like,
being known that there's someone over this whole thing, like, watching, and that's
Yes.
that's a good thing.
I also just think religion too, it's a guideline, it's not a law book. So.
Agreed. My last question for y'all is, y'all are both obviously have your own things going on, you know.
Well, they've got some different perspectives on religion, y'all. Let me know what y'all think about this one in the comments below, man. Actually, let me read some of the comments in this video, man. Woo-wee! This ought to be something, bro. Let's check it out. What does it say? This episode is 3 people lying for an hour. 2 of the most elite female finessers the NBA has ever seen. Chill out, fool. Rose at her capping to keep the doors open. Brittany's full of contradictions. She started by saying people shouldn't judge each other's past, then that everything has to happen because it is written. Then later on says a person's past is the biggest predictor of who a person is currently. Then concluded with her journey with Islam and turning down the Iman's sexual advances because she was purifying. Purifying from what your past was written. Your future? Yep. If Mike be more hustle on the court, if I don't even know how he worded that, but I understand what he's saying. If he hustled more on the court like these women would, he would be an all-star. PJ Washington got a headache. He ignored all the red flags on the internet. Yep. 2025 offseason Mike will be, yeah, seriously. Can't compare Denise to Brittany. Denise and Lonzo was a genuine love story. Young, it just didn't work out. She did some BS at one point, insinuating Lonzo was a deadbeat and that soured things. Meanwhile, Brittany is a predator that praising young athletes. If sorry, PJ Washington, he got done by a trifling demon. Oh my goodness. MPJ, good interviewer. MPJ is just holding back, not trying to sound misogynist. They talk about exchanging energy and soul ties. That's the exact reason someone may not want to date someone with children. You have a forever reason to be tied with someone, even though it's more than just a sexual encounter. So that even if you hate a man, you let a child wait. So if you hate a man that you let put a child into you, what type of energy are you allowing? She's talking about something. She ain't know Lonzo was going to the NBA. If you think about it, men all the power. If it wasn't for PJ Washington or Lonzo Ball, you wouldn't know anything about these 2 women. And she has the nerve to say athletes are dumb. So she basically just told on herself. She said they don't lead with substance, which means they are leading with service value. So they are admitted they are both gold diggers and shallow women. Boing, bingo. Goodness me. Don't let your faith waver based on the faults of men. Seek God, and your path will lead you to people to practice in accordance to God's will, and not those who are judgmental and condemn others. If you want to understand the character of a 304, listen to the entire podcast and see how Brittany Renner speaks. Almost everything she says is convoluted. Yes, she's so full of herself. My goodness.